Deep in the ocean, an orca pod is on the hunt. But these aren't your average orcas. These guys are organized.
Marketing team, did you get those social media posts scheduled for the SEAL migration?
Aye, Captain. We even have an automated notification for all pod managers when they go live.
They use Monday.com to keep their teamwork sharp, their communication clear, and their goals in sight. Monday.com. For whatever you run, even orcas. Go to Monday.com to dive deeper.
Well, I don't see the point in waiting any longer. So let's bring her out. The star attraction, the one you came to see. Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, Miss Judy Gold.
So you kind of do you think you're a happy child? Were you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then
I had a blessed childhood.
Right.
Are you kidding? I mean, every time I drive by that little park in Holmby Hills, I think I grew up in that little park for a while.
But then you lose your mother at
I was 16.
And that's a really, I mean, that's young, and it's a horrible time.
I think to lose a parent at any age.
I know.
Hard.
Joan Rivers said that to me too.
Yeah. I loved her.
Oh my God,
So
loved
great.
her.
like I can't even.
She was an original.
Yeah, and classy and smart and kind.
Really kind and generous.
Yeah.
Like my friend Don Rickles.
Yes.
Okay, Don was like that.
Yes.
And they would come out with this persona, and people wouldn't think that they were like that, but they were so generous.
You know, you can't. You know why? Because you can't be that persona without truly being a good person. You couldn't get away with that.
Right.
Because like the president, he is that persona. And it doesn't come from it comes from hate and anger. They come from, come on, let's all laugh at ourselves. Yeah. You know?
I think that Joan and Don and all of the people out that I was so lucky, the comedians that I was so lucky to be around, who I watched, later on in life.
Right.
They were so generous because they had such a rough time making it, and they had such a tough time, and so that when they became famous or had a great gig,
they were grateful.
They were grateful. They came from a place of grateful.
Right.
Yeah.
And then there were the bitter and twisted ones.
Right.
Who became not so grateful.
Well, those are the people, because, as a comedian, there are some people who it's like they just get lucky and they don't really have they don't have the backup. Like, they're not prepared. It takes so long to become a great comic,
Listen,
and we're the lowest form of the,
No, I don't believe that. I don't believe that because I think that comedians are so gifted because it takes so much knowledge and so much talent to realize what makes another human being laugh.
And don't you think now, especially now, like Colbert, thank God for those guys. And thank God for SNL.
And thank God for Samantha Bee.
And thank God for Samantha Bee.
Man.
I have to tell you something.
I love Colbert, though.
If you would find me, you'd have to call 911 if I ran into Stephen Colbert.
He's so good.
I did his show.
No, you didn't.
And I almost...
I know, and I was backstage waiting for you.
And I was like... and it was so genuine because he's so fucking brilliant.
He's so talented.
I know.
So
he's
great.
beyond.
But I got to tell you something. I cannot go to sleep at night without laughing.
Right.
That's a big thing for me that I have to laugh.
Laughter is so important.
And laughter is so important, and especially for me at this time because I've been in a battle.
Yeah.
For 6 years with breast
cancer, yeah.
And so I've had some real challenges.
Yeah.
So I need to laugh.
So
I
important.
need to find the funny. And I know that people say, how can you find what you've gone through funny? I said, I'm going to find the funny in this because that's what Joan Rivers said to me. She said, find the funny. She said, it may not be right now, but you will find it. And 5 months ago, I had a brain tumor. And so it was really challenging. But I did find the funny.
Right.
And I am now legally allowed to sing If I Only Had a Brain.
That's a good one. But it's true. And a lot of people don't realize that as a comedian, we always look for the fun. No matter how ornery and horrible the situation is, we do. And some people find it inappropriate, but I'm telling you,
it can be inappropriate. But I think, and there are times when I say too soon.
Right.
And sometimes people will say it isn't too soon. And I believe it is too, sometimes where you just say, okay, the line is there and it's okay to cross it.
Right.
It's just when to cross it.
Right.
So that you don't, so the funny doesn't turn into uncomfortable.
Right.
Right.
And so it's a challenging thing for a comedian because they want to make us laugh, but they don't know when to do it.
Right. Well,
I've had so many, people that I've admired over the years who have been in the world of comedy, and that wonderful, fantastic show on CNN that I watch.
Yeah,
all
the
time.
history of comedy that
So
they
great.
haven't
It's
put
brilliant.
me on,
It's
even though I write for CNN.
Okay.
It's
Bitter party of one.
okay, bitter and twisted party of one.
You're learning.
You could. I mean, you have to say to yourself, okay, maybe it'll be tomorrow.
Right. Maybe
they'll
tomorrow. That's what's so great and so horrible about this business. So you did a lot of acting and studying.
Yeah.
And your voice teacher. First of all, Ernie Sabella.
Oh, don't.
Can I tell you?
Great.
I did a sitcom in the 90s called All American Girl with Margaret Cho, and we got canceled, and I went on an audition the week we got canceled for a show called Blame It on Ernie.
Yes.
Are you kidding? I didn't know this.
And I booked it. And I was the only one leaving that show with another job. And it was a show for Ernie Sabella. And I played a postal worker. And it was on UPN. And we got an order of, I think, 8 or 13.
Right.
And we did 3. And then UPN got a new president, and they were like, "No, we don't like this show." So it never aired.
Oh my God.
But I worked with Ernie Sabella, and his brother is your voice teacher.
David.
Yes, he is, David.
So great.
I have to tell you, there are 2 of the most remarkable people, and they're both, which I'm really lucky. I asked both of them to guest with me at 54 Below.
You did?
I did,
And
they're coming.
Next week.
I want to go.
Go.
And then
Let's
I've
figure it
got
out.
my friend Ruthie Williamson.
So great.
Okay, who's so talented, and Haley Swindle, who is just a very, very talented singer. And so I thought I called the show, my new show is called To Ellen Back. Mm-hmm. And because I have been to Ellen Back.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, how do I say thank you? Let me call some of my really good friends and say, you want to come play in the sandbox?
So fucking great.
So let me say thank you. Let me not only say thank you to the friends that I always say this to them. They came for the whole dinner party.
Right.
They didn't just show up for appetizers and
then leave to go see a show or
they stayed with me through coffee and dessert.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So this is my way of saying thank you to not only them but to the audience who stayed with me.
You're worth staying for. So you got let me look. You got in. You were Grease 2.
Yeah.
What Promises
Yes.
on Broadway. Grease 2.
Yes.
Where the Boys Are.
Yes.
You had an affair with Barry Manilow. Now, I read an article where you said you went in. What?
You never told me that.
That you went
My
in.
best friend.
I know that.
Just shut up.
Okay, I'm sorry.
You went in to see Bette Midler.
Correct.
Okay, and there's this piano player.
Correct.
And Barry Manilow, and you are mesmerized by him.
Mesmerized.
And
Didn't care what was
what
happening.
was going on with Bette.
No.
And which I can see because he is a fucking I fucking love him so much. And I'm like, of course she did. Of who wouldn't fall in love with Barry Manilow? So
we're very, very, very close friends.
Right.
And he has gone through all of the times of being in and being in style and then being not in style, but he's lasted.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
He has lasted.
Well, he has longevity because he's so fucking. I mean,
So
because
talented.
he's
It's ridiculous.
But yeah, and with the jingles.
But listen,
Like
not
a
only
good neighbor, State Farm is that. I mean, he was. Okay,
yes,
sorry.
But he also, he's taught me a great deal.
Right.
He has taught me.
I don't know what that noise is, by the way.
Someone's
but-
vacuuming.
Sorry.
It's June Cleaver.
Yeah. There's someone in a dress
dress.
vacuuming. Go ahead. He's taught you, yes.
He's taught me everything that I need to know, and everything that I do, I run past him as far as my shows go. And he's so generous. And there have been times I've said to him several times, I think I'm going to do that. I hate that idea. Okay, never mind.
Right. So you have complete and utter trust in him.
Absolutely. Absolutely. He was the person who said to me when I was ready to sing my mother's incredible library of music.
Right.
I called him.
Right.
And I said, okay, I had written the book and I had made the miniseries. And I said, okay, now I think I'm ready to go and tackle this incredible library. And I thought that I was going to get some very, very long speech. And he said, it's about time, and hung up the phone.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I trust him, and he's the one who introduced me to Ken and Mitzi Welch, who wrote...
Mitzi is definitely Jewish. Maybe not.
Okay. Ken and Mitzi Welch, they wrote all the Carol Burnett shows.
Oh!
And they wrote songs my mother taught me for me.
Wow.
Which is great. A great show.
It is a great show.
It's a great show.
Were you at the taping of Barbra Streisand?
Yes.
Okay.
You were?
I have to die right now. I'm just dying. I'm having smelling salts.
I didn't know you were there when Happy Days and Get Heavy?
Okay, just everyone calm down.
So gay. I can't help it.
I mean, I can't take it.
Well,
I can't.
It's the
First of all, I have to say, Barbra Streisand comes on the show on your mother, and your mother is, oh my God, like fawning and like amazing, so unlike any other woman in Hollywood. And then Psycho walks in. Well, not Psycho, but I've watched that clip 100,000 times.
Well, Ethel Merman,
the new belter.
The new belter.
But she, in
you
her
don't need
eyes,
analyzing. You remember she sings it from the audience?
Yeah.
Like, Ethel, is that you? I hear a big voice.
Right.
But it was nothing was planned. Nothing was written.
Are you kidding me? Ethel just sang. That's hysterical.
No, she was across the hall doing the Skelton show.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
And so she heard about this, and she just walked in, and just did it like that. And my mother started laughing.
She's singing
Barbara,
that.
if you see Barbara's a little taken
Barbara's
back.
like, what's going on?
What's happening?
And Ethel is like, the new belter, and like seething.
Oh, no,
it looks like she's seething, and that's the story behind.
And what are you doing? Well,
right.
I've got a
what
new
else
show.
are you doing? Oh, I guess yeah. And for in our generation who was obsessed with that clip, we all thought that Ethel was like jealous of Barbara.
No.
So, didn't you?
I thought. Well, I love
something.
it when she says, "And what are you doing?" And she goes, "Oh, I'm reading a new show called Funny Girl with Julie Stein." Julie Stein.
I
he
worked with
wrote Gypsy.
Yeah, he wrote
and then,
Gypsy.
And then it comes back to Ethel.
Yeah.
But
Okay, you two are scaring.
Oh God, sorry. We're
no,
like,
it's okay.
I never talk about this stuff in front of you.
I know.
I mean,
but you want to know something? Ethel was not jealous of anybody.
Oh, I bet.
She knew exactly who she was. So, but it was just a time that it happened, and it made us all sort of laugh and giggle. And
do you ever bump into Barbra Streisand?
I've seen Barbara at events and all that, and she's always
she's lovely to you.
Lovely. Always. And she's always been incredibly generous about what she says about my mother and what working with my mother meant to her.
Yeah.
I love that you love your mother so much.
I do.
I know. I just love that.
That's great.
It's just so, because, I loved my mother so much.
I think we all love our mother.
I know. Some people are assholes about their mother. Yes, we all love our mothers. But the fact that it's so beautiful.
Well, thank you.
So All right, I won't continue with Barbara Streisand. But I did meet. I just want to tell you, I met her at a fundraiser for Obama at someone's house. A friend of mine's who's well-to-do and had this fundraiser, and Michelle Obama was there and everything.
Now, see, that would make me faint.
Yeah.
Yes, I almost and so. I saw her, and I was like, I don't want to talk to her because I don't want it ruined.
That's how I feel about Olivia
De Havilland?
Newton-John. Like, I don't want to meet Olivia because I know that it wouldn't be. Also
I
Olivia
made Lorna Luft laugh. I made Lorna Luft laugh.
But the two of you, De Havilland, John. Oh, okay.
I think this is the gayest episode.
It's pretty gay.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies to see if you could save some cash? Progressive makes it easy to see if you could save when you bundle your home and auto policies. Try it at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
You are performing at 54 Below.
I am.
Are you doing a lot of touring?
Right now, I'm beginning to get back on my feet again. I am.
Did it really take you was that like
a brain tumor?
Yeah.
No, it takes you a little bit.
I told you she's funny.
I fucking love her.
Okay.
No, I'm just saying you had the breast cancer.
I still have breast cancer.
Okay.
I'm still battling. I've gone through 6 years. So it started with a lumpectomy, and then I went through 6 months of chemo, lost my hair, did all of that, and
did your hair come back the same way?
Yeah, it did.
Wow, that's
actually
unusual.
It is unusual. Yeah. And then I was told I was good to go, and then it came back. And then it came back in my rib cage, in the front of my rib cage. And so I had a surgery on a scale of 1 to Caitlyn Jenner.
Right.
Mine was an 11.
Wow.
Okay. So... Okay, and they had to take part of 7 of my ribs away.
Wow.
And my chest wall and my sternum. And they took one of my girls away. And then
who needs her?
To put me back together, they took my back muscle and they stretched it all the way to my front. So I never know if I'm coming in the door or leaving. I mean, it's like when I want to scratch my back, I go like this. I mean, the jokes...
Find the funny, baby.
You find the funny in it. And then I thought I was good to go. And then it came back again. And then I had that again. And then just this past March, I had just played 54 Below. And I was on a plane and I was going to London. And I went to sleep on the plane and I woke up and I couldn't see. Oh. And everything looked like... it looked like a kaleidoscope, and it looked like a crossword puzzle.
Right.
And I said to my husband, I don't know what's happening, but I can't see. And he said, well, I said it's a little bit jet lag and all of that. And so it went on I did a show. Mm-hmm. Okay. I remembered
the show must go on. Yes.
I did a show and I did all the lyrics, but I couldn't put a sentence together.
Wow,
to say.
that's so interesting that your brain remembers.
It's a different part of your brain. So then my husband said, "Okay, something's really, really wrong." He called my incredible oncologist in L.A.
And you get all of your doctors from Barry Manilow, I heard.
I got my main doctor.
Oh, okay.
My main doctor who looks after me, David Agus, from Barry Manilow. And then he got the incredible Philomena McAndrew, who was the Sex and the City doctor.
Wow!
Remember when?
Yes.
Nobody could get in to see her.
Right.
They did that great. That's my doctor. And I'm very, as I said, incredibly grateful and fortunate to have them look after me. But he called and Philomena said, "Get her to an ER." I don't know. Just get her to an ER. I said, "Stop it! Everybody's being dramatic. I have to do another show."
Right.
And then when that show really started getting strange because I really couldn't put a sentence together.
Right.
I could remember things. My husband said, no, this is the end of that. And then it was interesting. My friend Anita Dobson, do you know who she is? She's married to Brian May. Mm-mm. And she's an incredibly funny, brilliant actress in England. She said, something's not right with you. And I said, I'm fine. I'm just jet lagged. And she said, something's not right. Then my best friend, my girlfriend Stacy, brought me a menu. And she said, read this. And I said, I can't.
No.
And she said, you're going right now. I went right to an ER in London, and they did an MRI on me, and I had a brain tumor the size of probably maybe a tangerine. Wow. And they came out, and they literally said to my husband, she has brain cancer.
Oh, my God.
They didn't even ask me for tea. They didn't... and
she found
not
the
even
funny.
brain with tea.
Found the funny. Yeah.
And so what happened was they had to put me in this hospital for 3 days to shrink with steroids my head to fly me back to Los Angeles.
No way. To get to have the surgery.
Yeah, because I would have stroked out.
Oh, my God.
So,
he was freaking out, by the way. I just want you to know.
I know you were. I know. And
Yeah,
it was one of those things. And I had another one of my best friends with me, and it was my husband and my best friend, Liz. And we got to LAX, and of course, TMZ came out. And my girlfriend says, oh, flashbulbs, brain tumor, not good. Anyway, I said, that's true. And the next day I was interviewing brain surgeons, and I was lucky enough to have Philomena find me this amazing man by the name of Dr. Ray Chu, and he said, what are you doing Tuesday? He said, let's go take this sucker out. And I said,
wow.
Okay. And they opened up the back of my head, and they took it out, and I'm fine.
Well, I just want to say you look fabulous.
Thank you. And my hair just grew back for the second time.
It looks good.
It looks awesome.
It does.
It does.
I love the color.
But the fact that you said, no, I'm fine, until you, was when she said read the menu, did it hit you at that point when she said read the menu that, this is...
Something's wrong.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't see. I couldn't do that. This is after my husband and Anita and all of these people had said something's wrong. And plus the fact my brilliant angel oncologist, Philomena McAndrew, was freaking out saying, I don't care what she says.
Right.
Get her to an ER. Because breast cancer goes to two places secondary. First it's your bones and then it's your brain. Yeah. And they did this brain surgery on me, and that was 4 months ago, and I'm going to do my first show.
I'm so excited. Below. That's so exciting.
Yeah.
Oh, God, Jamie. All right.
Sorry.
I just have a couple more questions because apparently you have to leave.
Well, Lorna has to leave.
Okay.
Whatever.
Oh, thanks.
You have to leave.
We both have to leave.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. You were late. Okay. And now you're sucking. Now you're sucking my life dry. All right. I mean, when am I going to have this opportunity again?
Stop.
I'm sorry. I love her. This week's episode of It's Judy Show with Judy Gold is sponsored by BetterHelp. And if you know me, which I think you do because you're listening to my podcast right now, you know that I am a big advocate for therapy. I think it benefits everyone. I think there's so many people who need it, who don't partake. It is so important for your emotional health and well-being. Therapy is fantastic. It is in every stretch of the imagination. And if you're thinking of starting therapy, please do it. But please give BetterHelp a try. It is entirely online. It's designed to be convenient. It's flexible. It suits your schedule. You fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist, and you can switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. I have switched therapists in my life. I've had many, many therapists, and sometimes it's not a great fit for you, but don't give up. Therapy is beneficial. You can learn about yourself, you can process, and just be emotionally healthy. I'm telling you, do it. BetterHelp is great because, when I used to schlep to my therapist's office, it was so annoying. You have to do it, and you sit there and you wait, and then
I'm telling you, doing it online is fantastic. And BetterHelp is amazing. I know a lot of people who've used it. So if you're thinking about therapy, go to BetterHelp.com. Let the gratitude flow. This is Gratitude Month, people. So you need to let the gratitude flow with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/JudyGold, JudyGold, today, and you will get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/JudyGold. You're welcome.
Broadway. Would you do Broadway again?
Sure.
In 2 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's like coming home.
Yeah.
That I love the process of doing theater.
I love theater.
I love the process of doing theater, and I love the process of sometimes doing theater and you have a great experience and sometimes you don't have a great experience, but it gives you that feeling of, okay, I know what not to do again.
Right.
So it teaches you that.
And live, there is nothing like having an audience.
It's best.
No, because you know why? You can't screw up.
Right.
You can't really, really mess up, because if you do, there's no chance to say, I was only kidding. Can I go back and do this again?
Exactly. And you have to focus. Focus with the mostest.
Yeah.
Why do you think there are so many versions of A Star is Born?
Because what I said earlier, because of the subject matter. Because, again, it being about humanity and it being about human
But
emotion.
it's also like they're not sequels, you know? It's that they're their own. It's like
They're
taking a song.
But it's their...
And,
it's their own entity.
Right.
That's why I was so happy and so thrilled for Lady Gaga and for Bradley Cooper with this one. That's theirs.
Right.
They did the new one. They did the one that people are going to go see that story.
Right. It
for the
keeps
first
it alive.
time,
Right.
And it keeps it alive. Yeah. And they were so, I have to tell you, she is spectacular.
Oh, I
She's
love her.
amazing.
But as a person,
Yes.
she is.
And her mother is too.
Is she?
Yes.
I've
seen her at benefits and stuff. Yeah, her mother is too.
I just find her to be so smart and so kind and so generous and so nice and so talented.
So talented.
She is.
And he is so the same. I mean, he's just incredibly nice. And I think taking this on as your first film, that's a lot. Mm-hmm. That's a lot.
Dare I ask
Yeah.
what your second... I think I know your first favorite version of A Star is Born. Dare I ask your second favorite version of A Star is Born?
My second favorite version of A Star is Born would be this one.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Not Barbara's.
Or Janet's.
No.
No. No.
Wow, that's awesome.
Because
I love this version. I do.
Me too.
Yeah.
I'm so happy for them. I'm so happy for everyone. I'm so happy
God,
for...
I want to be you.
Why?
I just want that...
No, you don't. You want to be you.
I've gotta be me.
Happy Judy Gold.
No, there's no... I can't. I really want... I think, I do come off as the most, negative, but I am really positive.
You are.
It all.
Mark says that all the time.
Huh?
Mark says that all the time.
Because I wouldn't continue on trying and trying.
Right.
I am you know what I mean? It's like what you said about Joan Rivers and
Don Rickles.
Don Rickles. That is that.
Yeah.
And underneath. Okay, so I ask all my guests 2 questions.
Okay.
The first is, we're very pro mental health here.
All right.
Very pro, and no stigma. I'm on every drug. I've been on every drug. Have you ever taken antidepressants? We're very pro anti. Wow.
No.
That is amazeballs.
No, I haven't.
Wow. So what do you do? Do you meditate? Do you yoga? Do you...
I don't.
You have good brain chemistry. Except for that fucking tangerine piece of shit.
Yeah. It's gone, by the way.
Bye, tangerine. Do you hate tangerines now?
No.
Like when you see a tangerine, do you think brain tumor?
Well, no, but I do find I use it as an excuse, which,
Oh, that's good.
I mean, when I want a better seat on a plane.
That's good. I got to do that.
I do
not.
I know. No, I don't. Sort of.
But
sometimes.
Can I tell you?
I use it with my agent all the time. I use it with Jamie. Can you get me a job? I had a brain tumor.
It works.
I had my knee replaced 6 years ago, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I just had a knee replacement. Can I sit down? I just had a knee replacement. You know.
Yeah. Best parking.
I love that you are not on I just...
No, I don't, because I mean, listen, when I do find myself having a little bit of a pity party, I call my daughter.
Right.
And we laugh. And then
See,
I'm good.
it's laughter.
And it is laughter. I mean, let me just tell you one quick story, and then I'm leaving you.
No, you have one more question after that.
Okay.
Go ahead.
My mother had this book when we were living in, and people know this, we were living in Brentwood, and I came into her office one day, and there was this big red leather-bound book, and I started looking through it, and there were just awful. There were clippings, all clippings of tornadoes and train crashes and all these things like this, all of these clippings. And I said, Mama, what is that? She said, my tragedy book. I said, what do you mean? She said, every time I think I've got it bad, I open this book and say, think I got it bad? Look what happened to these people.
That's amazing. I got to do a tragedy book.
That's actually an amazing idea.
That's brilliant. Your mother was brilliant on many levels. Wow.
Think I got it bad? Look what happened to these people.
Do you do anything Jewish? Because you have a little Jew blood in you. Like, do you feel Jewy at all?
I don't feel any
religion.
No, I don't feel any religion, but I do respect. I mean, I respect. I find hearing about certain things, like for instance, okay, my father was terrible Jew.
Right.
And when I mean terrible, he had no interest in finding out anything.
Right.
And I do remember that I said to him, Dad, what's Passover? And he said, it's on the freeway.
Okay. Oh, will you please tell the Ann Miller joke?
And then I have one last question. What? And
wait.
I don't do game shows.
Well, okay.
We'll have to
Jamie
cut that
loves
little.
It. Okay.
All right.
Jamie knows this. Okay, Ann Miller was truly one of the funniest and talented and wonderful people, but she used to just say things that she thought, she didn't have any, she didn't edit herself, and she would just say things. So they were doing Sugar Babies, she and Mickey Rooney, and they didn't get along real well. And so the boys in the show thought it would be very, 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 very nice to invite Ann Miller over for Passover, and they went to her dressing room and they said, Annie, listen, it's Passover and we would really, really like you to celebrate this, wonderful occasion with us, and would you like to come to Passover? She said, honey, I don't do game shows. And walked away.
It's a great
hilarious.
joke. Okay. Mark almost drove off the highway when she told that.
Now, I always, the name of my podcast is Kill Me Now, because I say that about 100 times a day because people get on my nerves and everything. So I ask every guest at the end, what pisses them off the most? What makes you so angry where you're like, I can't, like, do you, and it could be anything, because I have many things that piss, like incompetence, tip jars, stuff like that. But like, what makes you?
What makes me really, really angry is when people don't treat other people well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's what makes me truly angry. And I don't hold back anymore. And
right.
I don't hold back in restaurants when people are rude to waiters and waitresses.
Yeah, that pisses me off.
Mm-hmm.
That makes me very, very. And I say to them, you don't need to behave like that. You don't need to
That's
say
a
things
very
like that.
yeah.
You do not need to behave like
and
that.
Do people ever?
No, they realize what they've done,
right.
and either they. But I do say something now because you don't need to behave like that.
Right.
So that's what makes me angry. Watching people be unkind, watching people be rude, watching people. I mean, that's why I have to say another name dropped who I adore, and he is my friend, and I love Don Lemon so much.
Oh my God, I love Don. He's my friend too. He is the fucking best. The fucking best.
I mean, he is such a kind. And he had an award given to him last weekend at Palm Springs, and I was there. Mm-hmm. And he is, again, he reminds us all just to be decent.
Right. Yeah. Decent human beings.
And that's when I see someone not being decent, that makes me angry.
Right.
Where do you think that is? That you think that's your mother?
Yeah. Yeah. It comes from where I come from. It comes from how I was raised. It comes from always saying please, always saying thank you, always saying excuse me.
Right.
And the other thing that makes me really, 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 really crazy. Okay, and that's the other thing. And then I really have to go.
That you can leave. I could talk to you
when
forever.
I'm in the grocery store, and I'm in the grocery store at least once a day, is people who take their shopping carts and they put them in the middle of the aisle, and then they go 6 aisles
and then
over.
they leave,
and then they leave.
Right.
See, I don't like.
And I think
carts.
to myself, do you drive your car like
right?
that?
I don't like the carts in the parking lot. It makes me crazy.
No, that doesn't bother me.
No, bring it back to the fucking area.
I say bring it back to the area.
Yeah.
No, see, I'm guilty of that.
Really?
Well, then I would have to.
Do you have a handicap thing because of the brain tumor?
Oh, no. No.
Okay, good.
No. No.
Have you ever...
Have I driven on the freeway yet? No.
Wow. All right, last one. Okay. Have you ever... Because this is just a continuation. Have you ever had a friend, you went out to lunch or dinner, they were an asshole to the waiter or waitress, and you never talked to them again?
No, because I don't go out with people like that.
Just checking. Because I've seen Jamie...
But I have...
No, I'm kidding.
No, I do find myself that I have a smaller group of people.
Right.
In my life, because I do find myself that I am like a tap.
Right.
I do find myself that if you do something or you're like something, I can turn it off.
Right.
It scares me that I can do that.
But I think that's a good skill to have.
But I also don't feel guilty.
Right.
I
good.
Just
well, that's
turned off and
right.
That's it. So right now I'm going to
tell me to go fuck myself.
No.
All right.
Well, this has been amazing.
Never.
Okay.
I
Lorna,
love this.
Okay. I love you.
Thank you.
And you're so talented. Your voice is amazing. You're a great storyteller. I just love you. I can't thank you enough for doing this, Jamie. Thank you
for having me on.
Oh my God, you're the best, Jamie. You were a really good co-host.
Was I okay?
Yes.
This was amazing.
Come back
just
anytime.
Seeing you both together is just my gay heart is so happy.
Yeah, I wish my mother was alive. She would be so happy that.
Gosh.
I told one story. Okay.
What?
One story for you, and you can edit this, Judy, because you'll be good.
I'm never editing anything you say.
Listen, when I did my first book signing of this new book 2 weeks ago, and I did it in West Hollywood, and the mayor of West Hollywood introduced me at this book signing, and he made it Lorna Luft Day in West Hollywood, and it was the greatest thing.
That is the best.
It was the best, okay? It was the best thing.
Gay.
And so... Stop. So I had to tell them the story of when my son, Jesse, he was about 7 or 8 years old, and my husband, Colin, he's the half that makes me whole. He's everything to me. Anyway, and my daughter was really tiny. And so Colin said, you better have that talk with Jesse. And I said, what talk? Oh, that talk. Yeah. So I called him into the living room. I said, honey, listen, it's Halloween and we're going to West Hollywood. And we may see... And he turned around and said, people dressed up as members of our family. I said, you're going to be just fine.
I love it.
That's so
Lorna, this was a thank you, Jamie.
Thank you.
Thank you. You made my day. And as we always say, so long.
And everything was wonderful. I'll see you soon. Thank you for the visit. So long.